We are live again, and welcome everyone to the EtC, or End the Conspiracy, as he used to be known, but he's going by EtC now, after party. And so far we have with us, of course, Jay from EtC, and we've got, as usual, one of the furniture pieces in my after party. We've got BBA over here.
Hey, Jen's little corner.
And we also have the amazing Duke Bonanza, who has jumped in tonight. You guys probably miss him on Twitter. I know that, but
I'm here to make things.
We're going to.
I'm here to make things uncomfortable.
Well, of course, as always. If anyone else would like to join us, just let me know through Twitter or Facebook, and I'll send you a link. We are. I did speak with. If you guys are familiar with Derek Hawke, he's one of the co-hosts of Atheist Vanguard through the ACA. And I've invited him on. He says he'd love to come on. I think he just might be wrapping up a couple things, and then he's going to join us as well. So, and Jen Aldrich, who said she wasn't overly energetic, so she may or may not jump in. So we'll find out.
She better, goddammit. She sent me a friend request today. I was stoked.
Oh, did she? That's
awesome. I was like, what? What's going on? She's a trip. She's a firecracker. I love it.
Oh yeah, I know.
Like, she's like, what is she, like 4'10", probably like 95 pounds? I would be afraid to fist fight that girl.
Right?
You gotta watch out for them little ones.
I'm like just shy of like fucking 6 or just over 6'4". If I have shoes on, I'm almost 6'5". So, and I'm already going.
Dude, my ex-in-laws, my one brother-in-law is 6'6", the other one's 6'7". I've taken both of those guys down to Chinatown.
Oh, yeah.
Just fucking around, just kidding around. I've taken them both down to Chinatown. I would rather fight both of them at the same time than fucking Jen.
Hey, well, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, right?
Well, not only that, like,
was that Jay?
I said, you see Doorknob's comment?
No, but I'm going to share that shit. Yeah, one of the worst fucking Lego pieces to ever step on is that goddamn Batman mask one. The little pointy ears.
Oh.
Hey, Pikachu, you should join us.
I live in a Legoless universe.
Oh, do you? Oh, that's
yep.
It's
not a shame. It's on purpose.
Oh,
but I do have a great new mattress.
In that case, I'll go to the Legoland.
Does your brand new mattress have Lego pieces in it?
No, it doesn't. But I'm super stoked about it because, like, it was originally $799, and they marked it down to $599. And then I got it for 75% off of that. So I bought like an $800 mattress for $144.22.
Hey, Starscream. It's time to duel. Sorry. Hey, if you have Starscream, if you are on Duel Links or Dual Generations, you should add me as a friend. I go by Sarahs13 on both of them, so see if you can find me.
What does that mean?
Sarahs13?
Mm-hmm.
Saras is I believe, if I remember correctly, was a Celtic dragon for the element of air. And me, back in the day when I believed that bullshit, I was a Libra, or I am a Libra, which is an air sign. And I love dragons, so I just kind of tied to do it again. And 13 is just has always been my favorite number. I wore it in sports and stuff like that, too.
So you're full of air. That's what you're telling us.
Hot air, buddy. That's exactly. And at my age, it comes out more from the other side than this one.
I know, right? And that's something. And you have to time that kind of thing. Like, I work in an ER, right? I work in an emergency room. It's just like I had to fart. I had to go somewhere else.
Yeah, I'll be.
Because I can't fart when I'm talking to this person about what they owe to the ER. It's like, oh, you owe $256. Excuse me a moment.
Yeah, and another reason I love Dallas. All I have left in my Lego collection, I gave all my Lego away, which was literally boxes full. I could have rented a U-Haul. Oh, Pikachu, yeah, I will in a minute. I gave it all to a buddy of mine because his kids had none. And I said, well, shit, I don't really use it anymore. But then later on, I was like, shit, I should have kept some. But I ended up buying the Millennium Falcon, the first edition Millennium Falcon that came out in Lego. And of course, buying that, you have to buy the Boba Fett slave ship. So I bought the 2 of those.
Slave 1.
Slave 1, yeah. So I bought, Slave 2. First
Is it Slave 2?
Yeah, because Django had Slave 1. Right? So anyway.
Yeah.
So those are the ones that I have, and still to this day. I haven't brought them up and put them together yet, but we'll see. What the hell are you doing? Oh, he's running around in Legoland. Is that what it is? Okay. Yeah, Pikachu, as long as your mic is all right and it's not fucking full of static and shit, then I'll give you a link.
Okay,
I guess we'll find out, right? Oh, hang on here. What do we got? We've got Derek Hawke is in the house. What's going on, my brother?
Hello. How you doing? It's been a while.
Yeah, it has, man. Derek has been on my show, by the way, guys. So you can always search that one out if you want to hear Derek's story. And he's also one of the co-hosts for Atheist Vanguard, as I said.
Correction. I am the host.
He is the host extraordinaire from Atheist Vanguard, and now we're being joined by Pikachu. Hey, Pikachu.
Yeah.
Oh, much better. No static.
Loud or whatever.
You're a little
it needs to be a little bit louder.
But you sound good, man. It's not that you don't sound like a subway operator now.
Yeah, I took my VPN off. So.
Oh, okay. That's what it was. It was screwing everything up.
It was. Yeah.
All right. Just give us a little more volume. That's all.
A little bit more.
Is that your light ring you got there?
Ring light, yes.
Ring light, light ring, whatever.
Yeah.
It's his halo. It's
That's
awesome.
If it was his halo, it'd be around his knees.
How you been doing, Derek? Man, it's been a while since we chatted.
Not too bad. We did a marathon of recording 4 episodes of Atheist Vanguard today.
Mm-hmm.
Next week we're going out and doing some interviews, doing some street epistemology.
Cool.
That's pretty much it. I started my new job. I'm gonna start traveling. Hopefully, I'm gonna be getting to Washington.
Yeah, actually, Derek and I were just chatting on Facebook. He's trying to get up to Bellingham, which is literally less than half an hour away from me. So Derek and I could be hanging out like all the time if he moves up this way.
Yep.
Which would be awesome, man. We'll go drinking some beers and shit like that. Have a good time. And yes, Starscream.
I'm a cheap date, by the way.
You're a cheap date.
I'm a cheap date, by the way.
I'll keep that in mind.
How you guys been doing?
Pikachu should know is us gay men. We're cheap dates when we need to be. We're cheap dates.
That's hilarious. And it's okay because one thing I've noticed is versus the amount it costs for Canadian beer, American beer is much cheaper than ours. So,
yep. When we want to get the men's, we are cheap as we can be.
Whatever works for you. Pikachu, how you been doing? Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about what we've been talking about, but
I've been doing fine. I mean, just had a little bit of a rough stuff that went on, or
yep,
earlier this week, but that was all right.
It's I'm pal, you know that, right? Like, told you just be who you are and don't hide who you are. You shouldn't have to ever.
It's just tough discussing it with family,
It is. It can be very much.
Yeah.
I'm sure ultimately that your family bonds, well, not that this happens all the time because families can be quite fucking brutal. A lot of times, though, the love you have as a family will overrule a lot of that stuff, right? So,
well, the fact that it happened in a therapeutic session makes it a whole lot easier.
Sure.
To deal with. And, I mean, the fact that you have a psychotherapist there to manage it.
Yeah.
Makes it easier.
They're kind of like a referee for you.
Yeah. Well, it's you have a professional who knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
To be able to moderate what's going on, and
Absolutely.
to be able to make it easier to understand, either side and so forth.
Sure.
And you know what I mean. So.
Sure. I mean, a therapist like that can also introduce ideas that some of your family members may have not even thought of on how to view.
I think you can discuss what happened, just to kind of catch everybody up.
Oh well, yeah. Well, how about you tell the story? Because I think it's important that people hear these kinds of things, because there's probably a lot of people going through very, very similar things.
It'd be kind of hard for me to discuss it with my mom because she's still around. So in my house.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, how about I sort of get everyone up to speed in a nutshell sort of way? Pikachu has recently been in meetings with his family to allow them to know, or to let them know, that he's both gay and an atheist. And now you haven't really delved much onto the atheist part of it yet, right?
No, it's actually the opposite way.
Oh, you've come out as you've come out as an atheist.
Yeah.
But the gay part you're still kind of latching onto until you feel a little bit safer talking about it. Okay. And it was his grandma that was the real big concern. I think you had mentioned that she's probably the one that's going to be hardest to break that to. And you've had the conversation, though, have you not, since then?
I've had a conversation with some of my family members.
Right. Do you think you'll ever be able to tell them about that you're a gay man?
I'm gonna have to at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I feel for you, man. I really do. I mean, I could never really be in your situation or in your mind space, because I myself am not gay, but I've seen people go through that, and it's heartbreaking. Yeah, go ahead, Derek.
Yeah, what were you saying, Derek?
Hey, Pikachu, question for you. As a gay man, the family members that you've already spoken to, I'm sorry?
Yeah.
The the family members that you already have spoken to, did they allude that they kind of already knew? Yeah. Okay. Chances are the other family members either suspect or know. So, I mean, that's something you're going to have to accept, and that's going to help you it's going to help you ease into this. It is hard. It is hard. And it's really sad that sometimes you may have to sever relationships either temporarily or permanently. I've separated relationships permanently. I believe I'm a better person for it. But again, my family members who knew and suspected, and when I told them, loved me the same.
Yeah.
And there was more fear on my side than there was really any animosity on their side. But again, each family is different. People will surprise you sometimes.
Can I chime in for a second? To be honest, your sexuality is a very personal thing.
But you also have a very strong family, and there's 6 of us, right? There's 5 other people right here.
But so your sexuality is it's a very personal thing, and there's it's nobody's business but your own. Not your parents, not your grandparents. It's your business, all right? And you should, you have every right to hold on to it and to be private about it as long as you wish, until you feel comfortable. There's no reason that you should have to come out to somebody just because you feel obligated, or because you think that they deserve to hear about it. They don't. Nobody deserves to hear about who you are until you're ready to tell them about it, period.
Yeah.
And so there's no reason to put yourself out there if you're not ready. I mean, if you are ready, that's fine. And I'm in full support of saying get yourself out there and be yourself. But if you're not ready and you don't feel comfortable, there should be no pressure on you to do it in any time frame other than your own.
That's why I feel safer doing that in a therapeutic session in front of a therapist, more or less, than doing it in the open. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because it's safer to do it there with a psychotherapist than it is to just do it out in the blatant open with no one to, I mean, in that setting, you're having a professional who knows what they're doing to manage the situation that's going on. And
right.
It makes it easier to handle the fears that are going on between on my part, So, and it makes it easier for them to understand what's going on too,
Yeah, and I agree, and I think that's a smart move, and I think that you shouldn't feel like you're pressured to do it on a timeline, right? Like I have X amount of time to do this thing that I don't want to do necessarily, or I do want to do, but it comes to consequences. Like, there's no reason to put yourself in a position to say, hey, I have to do this right now, right? Because at the end of the day, who you are and your sexuality is about you. It's not about your parents. It's not about your peers. It's about you and you only. And you get to make the decision when it's smart and when it's best to approach it and encroach it with people that are in your lives. And you actually have the autonomy as well to decide when that happens. So, like, if I had any advice, because as a bisexual man in a house full of Baptist Christians, I never came out while my father was alive. I did. People that knew me knew, but I never came out like openly while my father was alive because I just knew it would put a block between myself and my father, and it wasn't worth it to me to do that. Like, I appreciated my relationship with my father, and part of me thought he already knew, and that was enough for me, So it's a card game, but you should do things on your own timeline and when you feel comfortable with doing them, and not based on what anybody else has to say or what anybody else's input is or how anybody else will react to it, right? It should be solely about what you're comfortable doing, because it's about you, and it's fine. Like, it's okay to have things to be about you and solely about you. And it's okay to be secretive about things that are about you and solely about you, and to only reveal those things to people that you trust.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense. I hope it does.
It does. But
I think it just sucks that people can't be who they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I concur, and I hate it. But unfortunately, in a lot of circumstances, they kind of can't. Based on what their circumstances are, whether or not they're dependent on the person who they're telling, or whether or not
well, like what Doorknob said earlier, right? If you live in a Muslim country, it could be life threatening, right? So that's a reason, right?
Right. But I mean, even if you take it just back to the concept of not being able to ever talk to your mother and father again,
It happens a lot.
I mean,
see, right?
I would advise to do what's in your heart, right? So, like, I would advise to weigh your relationship with your parents versus your, situation, and decide whether or not that's something you're willing to sacrifice.
Yeah.
Don't jump to conclusions and don't just jump out there, right? It's like, and the reason I say that is when I became an atheist, I immediately jumped into the fucking fire. Out of the frying pan, straight into the fire. And I alienated a bunch of fucking people. And I could have not done that. I could have been more strategic in how I did things. But I wasn't, So I had to do a lot of taking steps back and dealing with things on the other side of it. So, I mean, yeah. Do what you think you should do, and do what you think you're comfortable with. But don't feel like you're obligated to do anything, because you're not.
Yeah. No.
Your personal life is your personal life, and you're only obligated to share anything about your personal life to anybody, regardless of whether or not it's your parents or your friends or whoever it is. You're only obligated to share what you wish to share. And not expect more.
Yep. How was it for you, Derek, when you came out? Derek. I don't know if he can hear us. Okay, you can hear us.
Definitely. Can you hear me?
Yep, can hear you.
Hello?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to piggyback off of what Duke said. Really, it's about self-esteem, about self-respect, and really divulging what you feel comfortable. But I can understand definitely where you're coming from, Pikachu, because there's this really intense desire to be accepted. There's this part of your life that you don't want to hide, that you want to share with people, because you have people in your family who fall in love and can go and tell anybody they want to. I've met this person. I'm so in love. Everything about this person excites me and turns me on. And we can't do that. And we want to do that. I want to share with my grandmother and my mother and my sisters that I met this wonderful person, and he's just everything that I've ever wanted. I can't do that because, one, I feel uncomfortable. Two, I'm worried that they're going to feel uncomfortable. So there is this extreme desire. And it's just basically society has not caught up with us to, there's nothing wrong with what we feel. And we have to hold their hand to bring us up to where we are. But you're right. You want to have that respect for yourself and that strength in yourself. You do what you feel comfortable, and you be proud of what you are and who you love and whose your hand you hold, and you do what you need to do for you.
Yeah, but don't be put in a position where
I hope y'all heard that, because I don't think I'll be able to repeat that again.
Yeah, we heard
it. You're
Dude.
good. We heard it. But don't be put in a position. Don't feel like you're put in a position where you have to do something right now, even if your gut tells you it's the wrong time, because you have to, because it's expected. Like, nothing should be expected of people's sexualities. Nothing should be expected of people's religious beliefs. Those are entirely incredibly personal things, and they should be shared with people that you trust and that you have a good reason to trust when you feel comfortable.
Yep.
And not before. There's no reason to say that you have to absolutely share something. But if you feel like you have to, do it. But just if you know there's going to be consequences, prepare yourself in advance for the consequences, because they're going to come. When I came out as an atheist, there was extreme consequences, and What you gonna do? You know, the weird thing is when I came out as bisexual, the consequences were way less.
I've heard that from many people in that camp, like whether they're bi or gay or non-binary or whatever. That was always an easier out than actually the atheist part.
Yeah, it was. It was more than I can say it was. Like coming out as an atheist, it was just like, boom. But you know, after my father died, I came out as bisexual, and it was just kind of like, meh. We kind of always knew that. Whatever. Yeah, and it was an interesting conundrum because it was like, well, like I'm actively engaged in sexual promiscuity that you find abhorrent, and that's fine, but I don't believe in God, and that's the fucking deal ender. Like if I believed in your God, I'd be an abomination. So at what point do I just separate myself from the whole thing? Like it's silly.
Well, I think
It's unfortunate is what it is that people have these stigmas that don't allow us to be who we are.
Yeah.
Well, when I say silly, I mean unfortunate.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, I concealed this for about 4 years from them. My mom, she knew about it early on, since 2016. My other family members haven't known for a very long. They haven't known at all. And that was the situation. And I was slowly but surely over time coming out to them when I felt like it, as you guys were saying, to the people that I felt were the most, how should I say, the most
accepting,
people who could understanding and accepting and whatever. And somebody ended up blurting it to the wrong person, to the wrong people, and just ended up gossiping to somebody who they shouldn't have. And that's how this whole thing shebang.
Yeah, gossip is a motherfucker, man.
Yeah,
it sucks.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you guys know Rachel Ninja, she and I used to work together, and I was working a night shift one time, and she texted me in the morning because we're really good friends. She texted me in the morning and was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I was like, "I'm just getting off work." She's like, "Oh, I've got like 4 hours to kill because my kid's in preschool." So I was like, "Hey, well, I just got off work and I'm not working tonight. Why don't we have some breakfast and hang out? Maybe we can eat out some of your time." And somebody from my work saw us at IHOP having breakfast, and the next thing you know, there's rumors flying around that she's having an affair with me and Durka. And it was just like, yeah, that sucks, man. Fucking sucks. Like,
the one thing that did make me happy though about this week was that the Republicans just lost the Senate.
Oh wait, did they?
That goes off to left field.
Wait, did they? I didn't even hear about that.
Yeah, they did.
Basically, they did because they what happened was they said that they weren't going to let anybody go in, how should I say, whatever it is, speak or whatever for
witnesses.
Witnesses for the trial.
Oh yeah.
And now they're going to go and vote on a trial, and they're going to basically say that Trump is acquitted when they know that this is whatever.
Huh.
Which we all know is a death knell to the Republicans being in the Senate. So I'm kind of happy about that.
Yeah, I can agree.
Oh, that's why Jen can't jump in.
Oh,
my kids didn't jump in.
Jen can't jump in because one of the discs in her back is being an asshole, and she's not in a very public mood at the moment because she's in.
Oh, what a shame!
Yeah,
what a shame.
I'm sending her a virtual massage.
Wasn't she your last thing you did?
Guest,
yeah.
Yes, she was. Yeah. She was my last interview before I took the break for my first aid training. Yes.
How'd that go?
Victim.
I aced it, buddy. I'm now a level 2.
Level 2.
I'm a level 2 first aid guy. Oh, Derek fell out again. Derek's having it.
Yeah, I said you need to get to level 3.
Yeah, that's a 2-week course, and that's a really, really hard one. Like, there's a lot of shit in there, like limb loss and stuff like that. Like, we covered that sort of shit in level 2. So I know how to stop all kinds of crazy ass bleeds and stuff like that now. So
yeah, I had to go through that when I was in the Navy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different things.
Amputations and shit. Yeah. You gotta just put pressure and stop the bleeding, and then send them off to people that could deal with it.
Yeah, go here, dude, go.
Exactly. You do the head to toe check, and you do looking for any other bleeds that might be there, or what do they say? Weird looking shapes in the arms that could mean another break or whatever.
I never understood why the military always had to put their ID in their upper pocket. Why we couldn't put it anywhere, and it was just because if it's in the upper pocket, you always know where to go in case you have a punctured lung.
Yeah,
it's automatically it's right there. You know exactly where it is. You can pull it out and tape it on, and then roll them to the side. So it.
Oh, in the prone position.
Yeah.
Or the 3/4 prone. Yeah.
Yep. That way it'll, when they suck air in, it'll collapse to your chest, and when you breathe out, it opens up and lets so that's why it's always in that pocket.
Well, if you get something stuck in your chest, don't fucking pull it out.
Yeah, no, leave it there.
Just put bandages around it, clean it, put bandages around it, and send them off again with rapid transport so they can get to.
Neil, aren't you supposed to pray on it?
Well, you could. I mean, if the person's religious, you could fake one and just, make them comfortable if you got to do that.
Can I tell you a story? I got chicken pox when I was like 13 years old. Ooh. So as you know, as the older you get, the worse it is.
Yep.
So I had it really bad. My father, you know what that motherfucker did? He anointed me with oil. I'm like suffering. I have chicken pox in my mouth. And that motherfucker took some crescent oil and rubbed it on my forehead and prayed.
What? Because that'll help.
No kidding. Fortunately, I had a mother that had some sense, and she rubbed that that pink shit all over your body.
Oh, that fucking calamine lotion?
Yeah.
Inquisitive Condry.
Hey, no, I'm not doing any fucking Queensryche. I wish I could sing like Jeff Tate.
Neil, I was doing with Atheist Vanguard, and during the intro, I pissed everybody off because I broke into a very, very accurate and nice rendition of the intro to Scooby Doo. Nobody appreciated it.
The original, like Scooby Doo, where are you?
We got some work for you now.
Come on, Scooby Doo.
I see you pretending you got a sliver. You're not fooling me, 'cause I can't see. Come on, the way you shake.
She can quiver. Yeah.
You know we got. Okay, I'm not sorry.
And now he did it on my show.
I was possessed by the spirit of Shaggy for a moment.
Yoink!
Dinkies.
Yeah. Now I want to go build one of those giant sandwiches they used to build with like the chicken legs and the pickle jar and like the huge ones that they would eat.
Yep. Don't forget the Scooby snacks.
Oh yeah. No. Here in Canada, this stuff is Scooby snacks.
Oh, there you go, Ruh-roh Raggy.
A little bit of weed there. See about this little Yeti pop can thing here, but you see, it's called a pop can because the top pops off, and you can put your weed in it. You guys ever see that Saturday Night Live skit of the? I think, shit, who was it? It was Adam Sandler, I believe, and Rob Schneider were they ran, and it was what's his name? It was in Heathers and Pump Up the Volume.
Christian Slater.
Thank you. And they were running that curio shop, and they would you'd have like an African burial mask or something. He goes, yeah, this is like an African burial mask, and it's used at the burial sites to scare away all the evil things. And if you flip it this way, and there's a little compartment, you can put your weed in it. You can put your weed in it. It's hilarious. Look it up. It's funny. That one, and you know how SNL always does those commercials? Mm-hmm. And they always have the crotch bat or whatever the fuck. And there was one
Mathematic.
Yeah, or the toilet for two, or the his and hers toilet that are connected. And then they had one called the Mercury Mistress. It never actually got aired, but it's on YouTube somewhere. And it says, when you really love your car, and the guy gets out of his vehicle somewhere in the woods, and he goes to the back of the vehicle, pulls the plate down, and of course they blur it out, but it looks like a vagina. And the guy just starts humping his car.
You gotta watch it though. Bible Belt's playing racing with the cars right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure his virtual race cars don't have vaginas. Pretty sure. I don't know. Maybe he could design it that way. Bible Belt atheist, you pervert.
Hey, don't give me any ideas now.
Yeah, right.
I got my house right down the road.
Yeah, but SNL came up with some of the funniest fucking commercials, or just some of their shit was hilarious, like Dick in a Box. That was fucking funny.
Do you remember the luxury car, the ghetto luxury car that looked like a big run-up thing, and it's all luxury inside? And they have remember the commercial in the 80s where the car was so finely engineered that they had this metal ball that would roll down, but this one is falling through the cracks and through the oil leak.
Yeah. They come up with some funny shit, man.
Yeah. Remember in Living Color? No, in Living Color
there you go.
They were for the music parodies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's where in Living Color, isn't that? That's where Jim Carrey got his start, if I remember.
Yeah.
Where he did Fire Marshal Bill.
Fire Marshal Bill.
and
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Who was the weightlifter? Vera.
Yeah. We had the pigtails and shit.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Remember Wanda?
Yes.
Wanda the ugly woman.
I got you. You're mine. I'm ready to go.
I always thought Wanda and Shanae should have done a show together. Shanae from Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
I always thought those two should have done a skit together. That'd have been funny as hell.
It's funny because you think back to a lot of these shows, and they were definitely the opposite of politically correct if you think about it. And a lot of that shit would not fly today, especially even older shows like All in the Family. Can you imagine that airing today?
The Jeffersons.
But see, that's the thing. All in the Family wouldn't fly, but the Boondocks flies no problem.
Oh yeah, but the Boondocks is even old now if you think about it.
Well, yeah, now, but they still play it. Well, today, I guess they still play All in the Family in some spots, but
today somebody on the show had mentioned the Jeffersons Bible. And for some reason, I went to the Jeffersons. I'm like, what? Like the Proverbs of Wheezy?
Oh man, that's got to be a thing now. We got to do that now. The Proverbs of Wheezy.
There's something that gets to me. Like a lot of these people say, like, oh well, a lot of these shows from the 70s and 80s are all racist and all this and that. And I say, you know what? Just look at the shit that was back in the 50s. And under the Hays Code, and I say, you know, when the production code was underlined, they couldn't say shit about religion. They couldn't do.
That's true.
They had a lot of racism in the production system. You know, if you were a minority, you couldn't get like a B-roll in certain areas. You couldn't get anything in certain positions. And they they completely whitewashed like whole entire systems of whatever, and like
everything was whitewashed.
everything was completely everything was shit, and like it wasn't even like watching old westerns from that back in that day. Like there was nothing that was historically accurate from those shows.
Have you ever seen like on they used to have the Game Channel network, and you would see like old episodes of Celebrity Tic-Tac-Toe or what?
Hollywood Squares.
Hollywood Squares, yeah. Like with Paul Lynde, those days.
Yeah.
Those were some racist motherfuckers.
Oh yeah.
And it was. I mean, I was watching these. I remember watching these a few years back, and I'm like, I can't believe they. What? I mean, it's funny as hell, but I'm like, that was acceptable back then, and it was.
No,
it was. It's just the way it was.
Like if you look at
not that that's an excuse. Sorry.
If you look at like the first, what was it, Nightmare on Elm Street? One of the Nightmare on Elm Streets, they had a gay guy starring as a gay role in
that was
in
Nightmare
on Elm Street.
That was Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Yeah, and what happened was the whole reason was that before that time, as a gay actor, you couldn't get a role as a gay actor in any other position, period. And you couldn't get any sort of visibility as a gay person or any sort of LGBT visibility, period, in the movie.
So that's a really interesting point you bring up with that movie. So that movie actually was about repressed homosexuality. The character actually was a gay character who was experiencing basically homosexual panic. And these were what Freddie in this movie was playing off of: his fear of being intimate with a woman, his fear of, or his exploration of his sexuality, which is a locker room with his coach, whom he meets at a gay masochist, leather bar. It was really a brilliant movie and very pushed the time. But that's really what Nightmare on Elm Street 2 was about. Was gay panic, a gay male experiencing gay panic.
Mm-hmm. And you couldn't, before that time, like those movies, those films, you could not have any sort of, you couldn't have any sort of positive gay representation at all in any sort of film. At all. None.
Oh, really quick for Inquisitive Quandary. Yes, homie does play that.
I commented on that because I didn't catch it the first time because he said homie does not play that. And then he's like, oh, I'm so white.
Oh, shit, Terry.
He's like, homie, don't play that.
Oh, shit. I forgot to put a link to this in my usual suspects group. That's weird because I always do that.
In the game room?
Oh, hang on. Jen just answered me. That's the sweetest thing I've heard today. Thank you. When I said I'm sending a virtual massage. I love Jen. She's awesome.
Do you have any plans tomorrow?
Not really.
Hang on a second. I'll send.
Take your car then tomorrow. I'm gonna go to St. Anne's in Charlotte with Lori and Jolie and Elizabeth.
Wait, what's going on? What?
Okay.
Somebody playing some bad porn?
Is that you, BBA? Is that you, BBA? Is that noise coming from your area?
No, yeah, it must have been.
Yeah, now he finally muted. Okay, that's okay. Sounded like his mom talking to him.
Yeah.
BBA, is your mom single? I'm just kidding. He's like, I don't want you for a stepdad. Fuck you, jackass.
I heard something about Charlotte, and I was like, what?
It's a good thing he's got headphones on because that way she can't hear what I'm saying. I'm such a dick sometimes. Yeah, Jen thought it was pretty funny that I said I'm sending a virtual massage. Well, someone had to make her smile, I guess, because she was feeling really shitty. So,
yeah.
Leave my sex education teacher alone.
Hey, BBA, we love you, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, he was on. Well, Pikachu, you were finally on. Yeah. Finally, after months and months and months and months of talking about it.
I know.
But Zach was one of my first in very early on in my I don't want to call it a career, but my escapades in doing these. He was one of the first ones that I had on way back in the day.
You had Godless Cranium on at one time.
Yeah, Mike was that's his actual name, guys. I'm not trying to dox him or anything because people already know what his name is, but yeah, Mike was on my show really early on. Like he was probably within the first 10 episodes. He was a good chat too. Mike's good people.
Hey Jay, I'm not familiar with you. What do you do?
Well, I do a stream every Saturday looking at
except today
because I'm on the same time Neil is. I look at different conspiracies and whatnot. I do some satire videos. I'm going to be doing some. Those are my Hammer cousins, Tony and Jody. Those are funny. If you want a good laugh, don't look for anything structure wise. It's just for funs. But yeah,
dude, hit me up on Facebook and send me some links because I don't know if you know, but I'm a creepypasta author.
Yeah, it's really good too, by the way.
And so I love the conspiracy stuff, and I'm looking to integrate more of that. And I love your type of material is like right up my alley.
Oh, then sub to him, Derek, because he's got really, really cool shit.
Yeah, I do symbol videos where I look at a specific symbol and the history on it. I've done the Eye of Providence, the cross, pyramids, and my latest one was the swastika.
So you remember last a couple of years ago when we had the 5 blood moons and the Christians were going crazy? Mm-hmm. There was a lot of YouTube channels that were really like, I mean, they were. It was almost like back in the Satanic Panic where they're looking at just obvious things, and they were associating it with either devil worship or like the CERN symbol. They pulled out 666 out of that.
Yeah,
the Sega Genesis or the Sega symbol was Saturn, and that's a gateway to hell.
Even
and they love that movie Deep Impact. They can find so much shit in that movie.
Yeah,
those guys go nuts, and I just sit back with the popcorn going.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. My first video. Yeah, the first video I did.
Oh, scary!
The first video I did on the Illuminati Masonic symbolism in last year's Super Bowl party.
Awesome.
So
dude, hit me up. I want to see your shit.
You want to see his shit?
my last like 2 or 3 years as a Christian, I was into that bullshit when I was a fundamentalist Christian. So, yeah, that what was it? Red moon sort of crap before blood moon crap. That was some other bullshit, crap, whatever. But it started. You know who really was pushing that shit? It's that pastor John Hagee or whatever that was.
Well, he was one of them.
Oh, one of them, yeah,
for sure, yeah.
Fuck him.
He was one of the ones that pushed a lot of it.
And Autobot Starscream, 2 thumbs up.
Him, he pushed it, and Mark Dice pushed it too.
What did they push?
The 4 blood moons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up in a Satanic Panic, and I am a survivor of that time period. But I did have my losses. Right before my family converted to crazy evangelical, I had the most extensive He-Man collection, and my He-Man collection was a casualty to the goddamn Satanic Panic. I had He-Man, I had Skeletor, I had Castle Grayskull, I had Teela, I had Evil Lyn, I had Trapjaw, I had Triclops, I had Beastman, and they made me put them in my Odom school bag and throw them away in the garbage. And I just pray, and I do pray, I pray that garbage man saw that bundle of bags and thought it was drugs and opened it up and my He-Mans are safe somewhere in some cabinet with pristine condition and not in some landfill because I had Stridor, I had Zoar, I had Zodak, I had Ramhen, I had Merman.
Did you have Molar, the Molar, the dentist of Eternia?
Can you imagine if you grew up and you had this in your
yes? You just went up a whole other notch in my book, Pikachu.
I had Battle Cat, I had Panther. I gotta wipe my eyes for a second.
I
had Battle Armor He-Man and Battle Armor Skeletor. Goddamn!
I gotta jump in here real quick. Derek, I believe I found your Facebook page. You got all the alien stuff. Is that true?
That is me.
Oh, buddy.
So I am a editor and contributor to Alien Fans World, and we are the number 3. We're the number 3 fan site in the world.
Oh, I love those movies. So yeah, I just sent you a friend's request.
Okay.
Duke's back, but you got to hang out in the green room, pal.
Yeah. So
yeah, Jay, I'm gonna send you a link. I'm real famous for 2 stories. One of the stories is called Feline, and it is the movie Alien told from the cat's point of view.
From the cat's point of view? Oh,
it's amazing.
Jones is a badass in this story. The second story is called They Mostly Come at Night, and it's a story of the little girl before the Marines showed up.
Oh, see, I always thought they should have done a movie on that.
Yeah, and so I write these stories in a way that either if you're a fan of the movies, you know exactly what I'm talking about and where it is. And if you have no idea the movies, it's just a cool little standalone sci-fi.
Well, that'll be cool because I love those movies. The only one I don't have is Alien Resurrection because I can't find it outside of an anthology.
Yeah, that's it. You may have to get a digital copy of that.
Yeah. But I've got all of them. I've got all the Alien movies, all the Predator movies, all the Alien versus Predators. Oh, yeah. This is all movies.
Yeah.
And it's not even all of them. I got almost this many more out in the living room.
Yeah, I also have a story called USS February, and it is basically the Thing in space told to a Foo Fighter song.
Awesome.
Awesome. That'd be cool. Yeah, the
so
Thing.
I'll send you those links later this evening.
Okay. Yeah, I just sent you.
You can praise me how talented I am, like Neil does.
Nervardia, I just got a notification for a Nervardia premiere.
Yeah.
Did you see that? My new Christian content? What the fuck is that all about?
Okay, so I had to go read the description on that since she did her Talking in Tongues video last week.
Oh, yeah.
She's now convinced that God is real.
Oh no, she's full of shit. Come on, dude.
Oh yeah, she's 100% full of shit. But
I mean, if it comes to it,
we actually just talked about tongues in an episode of Atheist Vanguard, and doing research. Believe it or not, tongues is viewed as evidence of the existence of the Holy Ghost.
I'm sure it is.
What? We thought it was evidence of a brain aneurysm, but hey.
Fuck that shit.
Hey Jay, I wanted to ask you a question. Where do you think the whole FEMA camp sort of stuff came about from?
Oh man, that
was anti-Obama shit right there too.
Yep, that's a lot of it had to deal with the what's the word I'm looking for?
Nervardia clickbait.
Yeah. Anti-Obama propaganda is what a lot of that was for. But then that started, and then the conspiracy theorists got a hold of it, and that's how it became the Walmart is secretly have underground shelters where they house all the blacklist stuff, and that's where all the Freemasons, the Illuminati goes. And
wasn't that Project Jade?
I don't remember the name of it.
There was a Jade something that was right before the election that he was supposed to. It was supposed to be a militarized action against the border states.
No,
And they were supposed to come in and take all our guns again.
I think I know what it was. Basically, what was happening was the United States military was setting up operations to basically go to the Middle East and do stuff in the Middle East to fight terrorism and what have you. And they conspiracy theorists spent it as that they were using it as to go and to basically go that the military was going to go and start going door to door and arresting people directly using mail postage was it stickers or whatever, and just basically saying like this color sticker is for this person or this color sticker is for that person. I think they were saying like, the red sticker means that this person is whatever, is so forth, high profile, whatever. The yellow sticker means that this person's, whatever, and then the blue sticker means that they're not being whatever. I forget what it was. But
hey Jay,
yeah.
Hey Jay, what do you think of the anti-NASA sentiment that is very prominent within your conservatives?
I don't understand it. It's the whole flurfy, the whole flurf. Terry, if you want to watch some flurf stuff, watch Terry's Aussie perspective. Them guys are great over there. But it ties into the NASA is stealing all our money for who the hell knows what. It's like
my thoughts on it is I believe that a lot of the conservatives, which are very entrenched with your evangelicals, political evangelicals, they are afraid that, and this is just my own belief, that they're afraid that we are going to find life outside of this planet very soon.
Oh,
and that's gonna fuck. It's gonna fuck with this Earth-centric, human-centric belief that we've held on to, since the beginning.
And it'll fuck with every single religion on the planet.
Yeah. It's okay. We have the Space Force.
Yeah. I have found, going through and researching the different conspiracies that I've been looking into, almost just about every single one of them, if you track it back far enough, the Christian religion is involved in it at some point. It's always going to come down to something religious in the conspiracy.
And their desire to preserve and protect their control and power.
Especially the Catholic Church.
What was involved in my deconversion story?
Duke's going to bed and sends his love to everyone. Sorry about that.
Okay. Yeah, but that was what I found out in my deconversion story.
Yeah, if you look, because a lot of them will deal back to, well, you got the Masons and the Illuminatis, but if you can back farther than that, then you start getting into the Catholic Church, because then the Catholic Church had made the Masons and the Illuminati the boogeymen, and so you can track it back to some point where religion has its religion has its foothold in just about every single conspiracy.
And I mean, Catholics. No, Catholics still see the Freemasons as some satanic cult.
Yeah, I do. And the thing is, I traced it back. I
know this because my mother has said it many times.
I saw it back all the way to the Book of Revelations. The Book of Revelations has all these sort of conspiratorial thinking in it, everything else in it, blah 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 blah, whole fucking 9 yards. And the Book of Revelations had a lot of conspiratorial shit in there.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, the thing is with the Masons is you have to believe in a grand architect or some kind of creator. Yeah. Doesn't matter which one, as long as you believe in one. Yeah. But since you don't have to believe in God, that means it's automatically satanic, and therefore it's against the church.
Yeah.
Hey Jay. Would you like to see a cryptid? I have a combo right here.
I actually did. We did a stream on cryptids a couple months back.
What do you think of my shirt, Derek?
Oh,
ooh,
that That's great.
Free hugs.
Face huggers.
So Jay, one more question, Jay. One more question. Why does the Christians what's their deal with CERN? Why do they hate CERN so much?
Oh my god.
Because it's going to crack open the door to hell. That's
pretty much,
that's one theory. And the thought of finding the God particle.
We did already.
We already did, like back in 2012.
Yeah, that was the thing. It was finding the God particle is would throw their whole. Yeah, it is just a name, but it was that whole thing. It was like, well, you're trying to say you can find God, or you're going to open a portal to hell, or.
They also hate
the whole God particle thing. The God particle isn't a real name. It's just a fake name. But the real name is the Higgs boson.
Higgs boson, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
What really bugs them though is that right at the entrance there is a statue of Shiva, and they think that there's some ulterior motive. Yeah. In fact, what it is that India contributed a large portion of funds for the building of CERN, and it's a monument. And Shiva is not. It's not like fucking Kali Ma where she's going to take your heart out and kill you before she dies. It's actually it's a circle of life type thing, a creator destroyer thing. I actually did that at work one time. I was walking this way, and there was a guy coming the other way, and he was Indian, and I don't know what possessed me, but as he walked by, I go, Kali Ma.
What did he say?
Oh my gosh!
What did he say? He's like, what the fuck?
I know.
No, you want to get one. You want to get them going. The conspiracy theories going. Just start talking about the Denver airport.
Oh
yeah. Oh boy, that loves to get them conspiracy theorists all kinds of riled up. And the funny thing is that it started, and then the Denver, because the construction of the Denver airport took so long.
Yeah,
that conspiracy theorists were talking. Well, they're building an underground thing. So with all these conspiracies, Denver said, "Fuck it, we're gonna run with this."
Yeah, I mean, isn't it the art though? The art is really like post-apocalyptic type.
There is some weird ass art in there. Yeah.
You know, it'd be funny.
The gargoyle when you walk in, the talking gargoyle is freaking hilarious.
You know, it'd be funny is to walk into a Pentecostal church, and then when they start saying all that shit, and you just start saying, Kali Ma, Kali Ma.
Yes, we're doing that.
If you go to people like this, Kali Ma.
And have one of those, you can actually, I saw them online a while ago. You can buy them. I think they're fake hearts, but they beat. They're battery powered. They just cover it in fake blood and go, Kali Ma.
Yeah.
That would be epic shit right there.
Yeah, the horse outside Denver Airport with the red glowing eyes, and Denver Airport. Oh yeah.
What were they like? LED lights in there or something?
LED lights on this horse, this statue of a horse. Oh yeah, Denver Airport just took the whole conspiracy theories and just went, "Fuck it, we're running with it." It's great.
There's some underground network there.
Yeah, there's
leads to like Area 51 or some shit.
Oh
yeah.
So Denver Airport just said, "Fuck it, we're gonna run with it." So if you go, there's a great video. I wish I could remember where it was at. It was a preview for the Denver Airport, and they were going through all the different conspiracy things into it, and they've got posters in the Denver airport talking about, sorry, our construction is taking so long to get our Illuminati headquarters fixed.
Look at Bible Belt Atheists. I just want to make a little notice thing that I just noticed myself here. He's driving in the snow. What the fuck makes you think someone from Texas knows how to drive in the snow?
Yeah, no shit.
Well, North Carolina, but.
Oh, yeah, right.
North Carolina has snow. Well, they would have when.
No. We have snow. I couldn't even make it up the bridge when it snowed here. I had to get towed off the fucking bridge.
Shit.
I've been lucky here in Michigan. We haven't had a horrible snowstorm yet.
Hey, you know,
I heard otherwise from my grandparents.
February.
They're up there right now.
Well, I guess I was going to correct myself. It depends if you go into northern Michigan, where from farther north from where I'm at. Where I'm at, we haven't had a lot of snow.
Yeah, they're in like the Battle Creek area.
Oh, that's
south.
way north.
No, Battle Creek is south of me.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I could do with some snow right about now.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Terry finally popped up.
Yeah, I was just sorting out my voice and Zoom and OBS and everything because I run all that.
Oh, so you got to figure out which audio device you can use through this one, I guess.
Well, it's pretty well preset, but I just wanted to make sure I got it running because sometimes I might get the Zoom going and if I do a random hangout, I've got to restart Zoom because the newest update is mucking up with OBS, so I've got to roll back to a previous version all the time.
Because I use Zoom also. The only issue I found with Zoom is I can't share videos through Zoom anymore, to where they'll project through OBS onto the stream itself. I had to go in and do. Me and Ozman Cometh had to go through and do a whole like device capture setup and display capture and a whole new, just so I could stream, because we could see it where I was sharing in Zoom, but on the stream would just lock the whole OBS up.
Yeah, well, rolling back to the previous version is what I've been doing to solve all those issues, so I don't have any problems now with that.
Hey Ozzy, what's going on with all the situation with the fires and everything down there in Australia and all that stuff?
You can call me Terry. That's just my stage name that I've got up there.
Yeah.
The fires are down at Canberra at the moment. They're pretty bad down south of Canberra. They're being on and off in the area from Victoria right up to just south of where I am in Wollongong. We've had sporadic fires in the north of Sydney, and maybe a couple of little ones out west here. But it's all because of the backburning issue we had several years back, where all the greenies and that don't like us doing little burn-offs and cleaning out the forest, all the undergrowth and everything. So as soon as the bushfires seasons come around, which is nearly predictably every year now, we'll just get either a lightning strike or these pyromaniacs might start a fire and they just go out of control.
Oh,
if you've seen videos, I've shown videos on my channel, on my streams where the fires are pretty bad, even for the fireys.
Yeah, what was his name?
Were you guys getting huge hail now too?
I didn't get any here, but I was lucky this time. But Sydney can cop it and Melbourne can cop it. I don't know if Canberra got any the other day or not. But they were pretty big hailstones they did show on the media. I forget where that was at.
Yeah, it was Potholder 54 made a video on this discussing the fires, and the whole thing was that there's all kinds of people saying like, oh no, the fires were started by they start like way out in the woods, way out away from civilization, and then people would say like, oh,
outback.
Huh?
It's in the outback, I think.
Yeah.
No, they're not really in the outback. They're more they've been along the coastline. Yeah. Only a few hundred kilometers in from the ocean, so to speak. The inland, the furthest inland is probably south of Canberra and northeast of Melbourne. That's about as far as inland. There's nothing to burn out west.
Oh.
Hang on, Mikey has some.
Yeah, I caught it.
Okay.
I see it.
Yeah. Do you run NVIDIA?
No, I don't. I don't have the NVIDIA yet. That's my next upgrade. Is upgrade the video card.
My computer came staple with it. Alienware comes staple with NVIDIA.
No, I just got.
You got yourself like a Skynet there, don't you?
Indeed, I do.
Do not send a Terminator back to terminate my mother before I die, please.
I won't.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing conspiracy theorists go around is the whole Skynet thing or whatever is definitely ingrained in conspiracy theory.
Did you not see that thing I posted earlier about the guy who's controlling the robotic arm with his mind? The computer chip.
I probably didn't.
Yeah.
Go look at that because that shit's coming. Okay. We will be cybernetic at some point. Plus, they can now use your own cells to regenerate your body parts. So,
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, I guess General Grievous is coming to real life.
Yeah, General Grievous.
In that case, Neil, I need a complete makeover.
Yeah, me too. Could you 3D print a new heart for me and maybe a set of lungs? Because I've been a smoker.
I volunteer to be the Neo, and I will have the red and blue so that you guys can go. I know kung fu just by pushing a button.
Yeah.
But no, they literally
run on walls and shit.
No, it's literally like this. They see like every advancement in technology is going to lead to
brought to you by Disney.
Yeah. No,
Jay. By the way, Ripley is now a Disney queen.
I know. I've seen that.
No, princess, Disney princess.
She's a Disney princess. Yep.
Hold it. I gotta see something here. Chad, wait a minute. Oh, this shit again. This guy's been trying to get in here to my this is Darth Dawkins.
Oh,
that fucker.
He wants to talk to me about evolution, and I keep trying to fucking tell this guy I am a chemist, not an evolutionary biologist. If you want to talk to someone about evolution, all you fucking bullshit accounts that are popping into my chat all of a sudden, I'll tell you who you can go talk to. You can talk to Jackson Wheat. You can talk to what's his name, Robert Down something or other. Oh, hang on, Roland. Pardon me, Roland. They do stuff all together. Even Aaron Ra, who doesn't have like a degree in this stuff, knows more about evolutionary biology than I'll ever know. So go and talk to those guys, okay?
You can even talk to Matt Dillahunty and get embarrassed again.
Huh?
He can even talk to Matt Dillahunty again and get embarrassed again.
You can do that too. I know Matt personally, and he'll embarrass the shit.
I was actually at the studio the times that he was that brief time that he was calling.
Oh yeah. I remember seeing that.
Yeah, I think I learned more about biology and about science in general more from Aaron Ra than I ever did from any time in high school.
Yeah.
Hey,
I don't know why he wants to talk to me about my atheism.
Have you met Aaron Ra yet?
Who? Darth?
Bible Bill.
I talked to him briefly on an after party like ages ago.
After party, yeah.
So Aaron Ra is actually something very special to me. A couple two years ago, I was dealing with the death of my grandmother. She died from pancreatic cancer. It was really fast. It was really hard. And it actually put me in a crisis of faith. I was actually wishing that I could have faith. I was wishing that I could believe in heaven. I was actually
look at this shit.
I know. I've been reading the chat.
You're lying, Chad. Or Derek. You're lying. He did talk, you fucking clown. I listened to the show he called in on. So
I was there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and he got his ass handed to him.
Yeah. Anyways, and I was actually on the Atheist Experience chat rooms trying to process this. Trying to process that. That I'm trying to mourn this woman that I loved, who I don't believe is in heaven, not because she doesn't deserve to be in heaven, but I don't believe in heaven. My family members were seeing this, and I got brutally attacked and basically ended up getting disowned by the whole family. And so this was a late night, Sunday night, and just out of the blue, I don't even know what possessed me to do this. I sent Aaron Ra a personal message, I was just basically reaching out to anybody that I could. This is before I started going to the Austin community, atheist community of Austin. And within 10 minutes, he sent me this touching personal message of support. And he told me exactly what I needed to hear at that moment. And to me, Aaron Ra was like a celebrity. He was like, like somebody like, oh my God, this guy I admire so much is actually speaking to me. And it was about a year later where I actually met Aaron Ra. I met him at Atheist Day in front of the Capitol in Austin, Texas. And I came up to him and I was like, I know you don't know me, but you did something something that just meant so much to me, and I want to just give you a big, huge hug. And I gave him this hug, and he gave me this warm chuckle, grandfatherly chuckle, and embraced me. And then he goes, "Do you have that message that you sent me?" Because again, I get so much email that I'm sorry I don't remember. And I was like, "Yes, I did." And so later that day, I sent him a copy of the message, and his response was, "Yes, I remember." And every time we see, and I've seen him a few times afterwards, and every time he sees me, he gives me that same hug, and just to show that he remembers, and he acknowledges what he did for me, and just how he helped me climb out of this depth of depression. He's an amazing person, and I will, he is my man crush. He's my brother, my mentor. He's my Jedi master. He's everything. and if you ever have a chance to meet him, do it. He's an amazing person. And there's a lot of amazing people, that I've been fortunate to meet, just within the past few months. I've met Arn Ra. I've met Seth Andrews. Of course, I get to see Matt Dillahunty on a daily basis or a weekly basis. Jamie, Eric, all these great people. And now Jay, and now Ozzy, and now Pikachu, and of course Neil, and now you, Bible Belt. It's just so many amazing people that that we get to see in this inner circle of atheism that we are.
Yeah, I actually did a video not too long ago talking about grieving as an atheist. So if you want to check it out and give me your thoughts on the comments, then check it out.
Absolutely, because as an atheist, I did not know how to grieve. I was actually also by my family, I was made to feel guilty for grieving. Why are you upset? Why? Well, there's kind of like, why are you upset? Why are you sad? You don't believe in anything. And I was like,
yeah, that's kind of shit.
It's very shitty.
That is very.
It's very shitty. But again, I felt guilty for mourning my grandmother, so I mourned alone. Go ahead.
This must be Dawkins himself. Yeah, I guess my moderators had banned his other accounts in my chat, so he couldn't come in and represent himself. That's why he sent all these chads in here to do it for him.
Bible Belt, can you send me? First of all, hook me up. Send me a friend request on Facebook if you can, and then send me a link to that video. And I'd love to at least, I'd love to watch it, and I'll definitely give my comments on it. But yeah, and part of my show as well. I really try any opportunity that I get. I really try to talk about grieving in an atheist community or grieving as an atheist, because what I found when I was going through it is that this is one area where we kind of do fail ourselves. Especially, a lot of our atheists, a lot of us out here, our contact only is through social media, and we can be kind of cold at times. We can be very nihilistic. Oh, when you die, you die. That's it. Why feel bad? It's like, well, that's not. I understand that, but that's not what I need to hear at this moment. I need somebody to understand why I'm hurting, why I'm missing this person, and having and coming to terms that I will never see this person again. And also, the exclusion that I experienced, because I was not allowed to mourn with everybody else, nor was I allowed to take comfort in the delusion that someday I might be able to see this person again or be with this person again. And of course, they're offended by my beliefs. They were offended that I don't believe my grandmother is in heaven. I mean, and even me saying that is kind of like, it's still kind of cringy.
Thank you, Maya. Sorry.
No. So these are really important topics that I think we kind of dropped the ball on in the atheist community, and I commend you, Bible Belt Atheist, for really doing that video, because this is a topic that we really do need to kind of do a little bit better with, and and not be so logical in our comforting of a person going through this. There's a really great group in Facebook called Grieving Beyond Belief, where it's a closed private group where you go in there. You go in there and you go and talk to people that are also grieving or experience it. And so those are something else that really to explore.
Yeah, I just sent you a friend request on Facebook. So
Okay.
I just want to intervene here for a sec, guys.
yeah,
I was just basically, I guess, Zachary Carr or whatever, posted that calling me a chicken because I won't talk to Darth. Because because Darth is always looking to debate people about the atheism versus religion and stuff like that.
there is no debate. There is no debate.
That's what I say.
Debate.
There is no debate until you can give me something, anything tangible that demonstrates that there are deities of any kind, because literally hundreds of thousands have been proposed. None have ever been demonstrated as being real. So until you demonstrate that there is something to debate, I'd have no time to sit there and debate about this bullshit.
And there's one thing that I love to revert
chat about it, whatever, Lurpy, Kerp, or whatever. It doesn't matter.
And there's one thing I love to revert back to is, 4,000 or 5,000 years ago, the Greeks and the Romans and the Egyptians all had their religion because that was their religion back in the time. However, now, 4,000 years later, it's a mythology. It is a proven mythology. We just need to wait for the rest of the religions today to reach that same status.
Yeah, and that's a good point you bring. I kind of see that with the current state of Islam, where they are a young religion and they're going through the growing pains that the brutal growing pains that we saw with Christianity and all those other ones.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, Islam isn't really that young. They're like what, 1,100 years old?
I think they're like 500 years younger than Christianity, something like that.
Okay, and they're about 1,500. So
there are many religions older than Christianity and Judaism.
Oh yeah.
It's
that
kind
are
of
even
funny
around today.
I just got this book because I wanted to look into it.
Yeah, Aaron Ross been doing a series on the Quran bits.
Yeah, because I keep hearing about it. I'm like, you know what? I really need to learn more about it myself. So I got that book just to look into it.
Does anybody know if Jake and Hugo have done the Quran?
Yes, it's now
Hannah and
Jake and Hannah. I think.
Okay.
Because
now, when they were doing the Bible, I think that they did a phenomenal Bible study series. It was fantastic back in the day.
And everybody's dead.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm dealing with the shit in the chat here. Everyone's putting chicken. I'm not chicken, dude. So
he'll debate if he fucking wants to. That's his choice.
Yeah, I just don't have the time for that bullshit. Okay, because it's bullshit. You've been led to believe in shit that is not real. I really hope at some time you will figure that out, and then I can have you on here as a guest telling me that you found your way out of that horseshit belief system you have. Okay, I hope that happens one day.
Yeah, let's. I'll have a good conversation with Darth Dawkins. Hey, Darth Dawkins, let's have a discussion about what would a Mortal Kombat Jesus character be like? what would a Mortal Kombat Jesus fatality be?
Shit here. I love it.
He must really.
I think Jesus gets his opponent and he's doing finish him, and like thorns come out of the ground and rip him apart.
I want to say something. Everyone that's in the chat, everyone that's in the chat, pay attention to what Inquisitive Quandary is saying, because if you don't, you will be banned from this chat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Period. We will ban you from this chat.
All right. So, guys, I don't really care to debate with Darth Dawkins. He has his tactic where he just likes to talk in fucking circles that leaves you basically sitting there going, what the fuck am I supposed to say now? Like, I've heard from many, many people.
What he does is he says that, no, you don't understand. No, you're stupid. You don't understand. No, you don't understand. No, you don't understand. Fuck you. Fuck you, motherfucker.
Oh, my God. I saw that video way too many times.
Mind Onion. That's great. I can't believe, Nick, you're in here rooting for Darth, and you just donated $2 to my channel. First of all, thank you. That was very generous. But why?
I think he was.
trying to get you to see it.
I think he thought it might pop up on screen or something like that.
Oh, I will for sure. Yeah,
that's probably what he was thinking.
That's very nice of you to do so, but whoops. It was unnecessary. You didn't have to do that. Like, guys, I have no. I'm not banning all non-atheists. That's ridiculous. I don't live in an echo chamber, guys. I've been up and down all kinds of belief systems myself.
Yeah.
And
Autobot Starscream, you got it. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Right. It's just none of it is convincing. None of it convinces me at all, because it all sounds like mythology to me. When I listen to people being raised from the dead, it's akin to other mythologies that I've heard in the past. It's all right. I mean, guys, there's no evidence for any of it. Okay. This exodus out of Egypt, there have been multiple scholars looking for the evidence. None of it's ever been found.
Holy Kool-Aid just did a great video on that.
Yes. The history, the falsehoods. Yeah. I just actually promoted one of his earlier today.
I need to go watch that video. I've been meaning to.
There's a quote at the end of it that I just love.
Well, don't spoil it for me.
I'm not gonna. Then don't look at my my Twitter page then until you've seen it. We know with almost, because I don't think you can really know anything to absolute certainty, but we do know that the global flood never happened. We know that never happened, because during the time it was supposed to have happened, somebody forgot to tell the people in Australia, South Africa, South America, North America, Japan, China. They forgot to tell them all, because they all have records during that alleged time. All of them.
The thing that I have experienced, I've told that to my mother. I've had that point with my mother. And she's like, well, then why do all of the other ancient cultures from back in the flood time all have flood stories in their history? It's like,
I love this guy more and more.
They do have flood stories, but the timing of the flood stories don't line up.
Okay, you're right. You're absolutely right. And also, Duncan Atheism. Okay, I do not have to disprove anything that has never been proven.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Exactly.
And Jen, hi Jen. I hope you're feeling a little better. Jen's been having some issues, but I sent a virtual massage, so she's probably feeling better. Okay, yeah. So just stick that in your pipe and smoke it there, Duncan Atheism. I don't have to disprove anything that has never been proven. So until it's been proven, then I can work on disproving it. It's called the falsification of scientific method. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing that I've ever seen in my realm of science has ever pointed to or been demonstrable or has demonstrated that there are any gods. Okay?
Hey, Neil, you said that you were a chemist. What type of chemist? What type?
Environmental. I work in the environmental sector. So organic chemistry, basically.
The summer I took organic chemistry 1 and 2 was the worst of my life.
Why? It's fun.
Well, so I took it over summer, so it was accelerated, and plus I had a teacher that was on cocaine, and
what? Wow.
Oh, then.
And so you're trying to take notes, and you come out of the class like this. But she was a good teacher. She just spoke really fast.
This is a fantastic question. Sorry to interrupt you, Derek, but this is actually a fantastic question.
Anything. That's the answer. Anything that's tangible and irrefutable.
Anything that can be falsified. Right.
And
Anything
a good question to actually ask both sides is, okay, so what evidence is sufficient for me to believe in a God, and what evidence is sufficient for you to not believe in a God? So we got to ask both those questions.
And the question also is with the need.
Yeah.
To believe.
Yeah.
How does organic chemistry make sense in an atheist universe? Well, first of all, the universe is not atheist. Okay, atheism is a position that only a being with a mind can have. Okay, atheism is merely either a lack of or non-belief in any deities. That's all it is. Yeah. Some people grow up with no deities in their household ever, and then they meet people that believe in it, and they're like, "What?" And they don't understand how, especially after they hear the stories. So, chemistry is what it is. Chemistry, people always, it's funny because I can tie something else into this. You always have these people going, "Oh my God," with Monsanto and say, "Oh, it's all chemical." I hate to break it to you, but everything is chemicals. It doesn't matter what you touch, talk about, or even you yourself, you are made up of chemicals. mostly carbon particles from stars throughout our local universe.
And it's also important to explain to, like when a Christian is asking you about atheism, to really illustrate to them is like, okay, as a Christian, if somebody tells you, I believe in Shiva, and the Christian's response is, I do not believe in Shiva, you are an atheist in terms of that proposition. So that's what atheism is a stance or a position on a particular proposition. And basically, and again, this has been said so many times, my atheism is just one more than yours.
Yeah.
Every theist
is an atheist about every other religion.
Yes, it is.
Some of us just take it one God further.
That's exactly what Richard Dawkins said.
Yeah, I couldn't remember who said it, but yeah, Richard.
Oh, I said it. They just copied me.
When I say an atheist universe, I refer to the atheist
universe. I take credit
don't have a worldview. Fuck.
Why can't you get that? And I take credit for Mortal Kombat Jesus.
Why can't you people get this through your head? Atheism is not a worldview particularly. It's just you don't believe in gods. That's it. Now that
we're all born atheists.
No. When you're born, you don't have the capacity to understand what a deity is.
Yeah, exactly.
But we are, however, science has revealed that we are genetically encoded, so to speak. I don't like to use the word code because it's not code. It's a set of instructions. We do have
tendency.
We do have a genetic tendency to be predisposed to believing in those kinds of things like deities, which you can see ritualistic behavior throughout our hominid ancestry for literally 50,000 plus years.
It's because our brain is set up to be pattern seeking.
Yes.
We've been basically evolved in a way to believe in gods. In a way,
or something of supernatural realms, because
we're born to be able to understand our environment and understand how things work. Yeah. Religion is just an early attempt at us trying to understand our environment. Mixed with a little bit of ethics, a little bit of moralities, instructions, but really it was our attempt to understand why things happen the way they are and how we interact with each other.
And that's the only reason religion is around in the first place.
Correct. Oh, hi, Andrew. I didn't see you. My apologies.
Welcome to the Church of Scorpion.
Church of Scorpion.
Get over here.
It's getting
welcome. Y'all are welcome.
For those of you guys, I'm going to reiterate because there's a lot of new people in the chat now. Guys, don't ban everyone from my chat. These believers they can come in and spew out whatever they want. I don't mind. It's fine.
It was just Dawkins that was the big issue.
Yeah. Dawkins, it was relentlessly fucking brutal. So I'm just like, I don't want him around. it's that simple. But his minions, I don't care if they show up. That's fine. Because not only that, but they increase my watch count. So it shows up better in the algorithms. So all these believers can pop in here and spout all the nonsense they want as long as my algorithm shit goes up, right? I'm good with that.
Jen, I'm not binding anyone. I'm here to fight.
Zachary, look at this. Zachary's starting to tip towards. What do you guys think he's starting to tip towards? Come on. This is an easy one. So what do you know?
What it is. I can't think of the word, though. I can't think of the word.
Okay. Anyone?
I know what it is, though.
Leaning towards. Zachary, you're a good-looking guy. Come on, man. You should get the hell out of this belief system. It's dragging your ass down. All right.
Plus, you're making my name look bad.
Okay. I'm not banning everyone. I'm here to fight. Yeah, that's what I love about Jen. Okay. So when you start getting into the whole realm of how can you prove anything, Terry, come on, help us out here.
Nihilism?
Not nihilism, but close.
Determinism?
Thank you, my nutty.
Yeah, that.
Solipsism. Yeah. Solipsism, in my opinion, although I know it's a philosophical standpoint, is horseshit. Okay? Mm-hmm. Because how can you know anything exists? Well, even if that's the case, I'm going to act because this is what I have around me and what I interact with on a daily basis. I'm going to act as if all of this is real. Okay? Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to act in a way that there are deities around because I have never experienced this shit. I've tried and tried to be that guy for years. Hell, I was raised. You see, here's the funny thing here. This is something I think Zachary might actually appreciate. I was adopted, Zachary, and I was adopted. I was brought home about 10 days after I was born, or 11 days after I was born. I was actually brought home Halloween Day, which is awesome because every other birthday I could do on Halloween. My original biological folks, who I have met and love to death now, I've known them for over 20 years. I was born to a Christian couple, two different denominations. One that I think was more your everyday type Christian. The other one was very staunch Catholic. And his mother was one of the reasons why I was put up for adoption, because she would have none of that. And that's what religion does to people. It poisons their minds. But anyways, then I was put up for adoption and I was raised by Jewish people. All right. My mother and father were Jewish. So I was raised Jewish, even though I was born to Christians. I was raised Jewish. So I was taught that this belief system was correct and Christianity was horseshit that came along after our religion had been around for 1,000 years or so, or more than that. But anyways, I grew up believing in God. Okay. I used to have conversations with him all the time when I was a kid, and nothing ever happened. So over time and learning about the Hebrew Bible back in the day, the Old Testament, the Pentateuch and all that stuff, I heard all these stories and I'm thinking to myself, this is just like all that other stuff I'm learning in school, like Roman mythology, Greek mythology, Norse mythology. It all sounds the same to me. Like these are just stories that are made up for whatever their purposes may be. And that's fine. But I'm sorry, none of it is rational in my mind. So, and I would ask questions to my Hebrew school teachers as kids, and they would always be like, well, you shouldn't really question. And then, and that's when I first started learning that any belief system that tells you not to question, not to doubt, et cetera, get the fuck out. Because they are not willing to change. You're not willing to open your mind to new ideas. Your set of dogma and directions or whatever is a closed circuit.
Yeah.
You're done. Anything outside of that is considered blasphemy or heresy or whatever. Okay, so if you're stuck in a system like that, get the fuck out. As soon as they tell you don't question, get out. That's all I can tell you. And Zachary, you seem like an all right guy, and that's why I'm not really in control of my moderators, and I have like 1 billion moderators because I'm like the Oprah with wrenches. But
hey, I was the same way when I started. You get a wrench, and you get a wrench, and you get a wrench.
Exactly. Just look under your seat. There's a wrench.
Hey, you're here. You get a wrench.
I got a deal on mine, Neil, where you get a wrench if you sub.
Hey, Neil, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
When baby Neil was brought home on that 10 days after he was born, was your hair the same length as it is now?
Oh, hell no.
I just can't imagine you without long hair.
I
always say I have the third best hair on the internet. The only two people better than mine is Neil and Aaron.
Have you seen the picture of me and Aaron standing next to each other at the Monkey Noodle House?
Yeah.
Oh! I have so during Faithless Forum last year, somebody, and I don't know if this ever was released on a video, but somebody played a prank on Aaron Ra.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think it was released.
This is fantastic. So there is an app on your phone that does it's a pair of hair clippers and does. So somebody came up behind Aaron Ra
and should have seen the look on his
head and went, and I didn't know Aaron Ra looked like he could do like some Matrix, kung fu shit.
Just like those people that are kung fu artists when they're
floating in the air for a couple of seconds and did this, and then everybody the camera panned around him in slow motion.
Gosh.
Oh, geez, that reminds me of that one episode in Family Guy where they were going around doing the what was it,
Jackass.
The Jackass, yeah. They had the barber, whatever it was, stuff, and they were shaving peels.
Yeah.
Oh, that's evil. If somebody did that to me, they would be dead. That's all I can tell you. I carry a Leatherman with me everywhere I go, and on this fucking thing is a knife. You cut my hair, I'm going to cut you.
No, that's not a knife. This is a knife.
Right here, Crocodile Dundee. Just settle down.
Neil is the true motherfucking Baba.
It's really dull, so it takes a while to cut through that hair. I've been using it to whittle. I was a counselor at a daycare for many years, and we take the kids camping. And of course, I'm the guy they come to when they need their sticks whittled for the fucking marshmallow roast.
There was something I wanted to say about what Neil was saying earlier. Is that most atheists, to be honest with you, like with me, like there was not very much change in life. When I deconverted, other than my political changes, and and that was basically.
I still eat the same foods and drink the same beer.
Exactly. Doesn't change. The only thing you give up is a belief in a deity. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. You're still the same guy. Of course, some of your habits might change. You don't go to church anymore. You may not be involved.
You actually get to sleep in on Sundays.
You get to sleep in on Sundays.
That's an interesting question.
Keep a tenth of your paycheck, Matt.
You get to keep 10% of your paycheck. Yeah.
That's an interesting question. I've been wanting to ask.
If you don't sleep in on Sunday, hey, do something good. Actually, go to the fucking gym or something instead of go to fucking church. Yeah.
And Terry, go ahead, man.
Oh, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt.
That's okay.
That's an interesting question. I've never got an answer about. If you're an atheist and you've given up supernatural type thinking, are you still superstitious?
Some are. I've noticed that there are some that still hold to some old school like superstitious beliefs, but it's rare.
I can answer that. I can take the names Lord in vain. I can be blasphemous 7 days a week, 24/7. But you cannot get me in that bathroom with the lights off and me say Bloody Mary 3 times.
Why?
Can't do it. Won't do it.
Dude, I've done it 100 times. It's
not worth the risk.
That one and Candyman. Yeah,
Candyman.
I hate to break it, Derek. There's no risk. You're okay.
You got a better shot at Beetlejuice than you do Candyman.
You want me to do it?
Go do it. It was nice knowing you. If you do it, it was nice knowing you. I miss you.
I have a reflective surface right here.
No, it has to be in the bathroom. No, it has to be in the bathroom.
It only has to be a reflective surface.
No, it has to be in the bathroom. And it has to
Bloody
be
Mary.
In the bathroom. And the bathroom has to be facing the west.
Bloody Mary. Oh, come on. Now there's all these rules and stipulations. That's not the way I heard it.
Did you do it?
Yeah, I look kind of cool. Yeah, I just did it. I have a reflective surface right here.
It's nice knowing you. You're going to get a phone call that says 7 days.
Who cares? you know what I'm going to say when I get that call? I'm going to go 8 days, and I'm coming for you.
It'll be like, is that 7 days? What if it's a weekend? Is it like a business?
7 business days.
Are these 7 business days?
Yes. What if there's a holiday? Does that count?
I'll do it again. I have an app on here that actually has a mirror. So, all right, Bloody Mary, Candyman. There you go. I did 2 of them in a row.
It was nice knowing you. We're gonna miss you.
I'm still here. You'll be able to see behind me if anyone comes out of the blue, right?
She's gonna get you later.
Oh, when I'm at 7-Eleven? Like, when is this gonna happen?
She's gonna get you when you least expect it.
Oh.
Hey guys, that just gets to me about all
when she gets you, you got, and when you got, you don't want to get got because you can't get ungot.
No, I'm saying
she'll get you.
The thing that gets to me is that all the superstition stuff, like people will do these shows like, Ghost Adventures, stuff like that, and we know it's all fake. We know it's all full of shit. And people still, like I said, they still we know they still believe that it's real. But we can prove that this is full of shit.
There you go. So you were convinced, Zachary, and that's fine. It's called faith because it's not knowledge, just so you know.
I never get that right.
Faith is the excuse that was brought up because you couldn't question. Said, well, you don't need to question, you just have to have faith. That was the bullshit excuse they came up with so people would stop questioning the church.
Mm-hmm.
Zachary, you were convinced, and that's fine. Whatever works for you, man. I'm not going to begrudge you that you have this belief system. Okay, I don't hate people for what they believe. I don't like specific ideologies. That's all there is to it.
Yeah,
because I find them harmful.
The first thing that you need to understand, at least for me, and I imagine for everybody else, atheism is really such a small part of my life. I would really consider I would really consider myself more of a humanist first as opposed to an atheist. And as far as my activism with the atheism community, it's really geared at keeping the separation of church and state. I'm trying to keep people from legislating their beliefs onto me and other people, and protection of, because again, we have churches that are protecting, that are attacking people for who they are, such as the gay and lesbians community. So really what my deal is, I have no problem with your religion. I support your right to practice and worship how you practice.
Absolutely.
You just need to,
I will fight for it.
You need to keep your prayer toys to yourself. Don't make me play with your prayer toys. You play with your toys, I'll play with my toys, and we'll be happy. That's the essence of what the majority of our atheism is.
Same here, because I was trying to figure out what had happened.
Oh, that was.
What if there's people out there that don't have any toys?
I got lots. They can hit me up. I'll send them some.
I left Zach a comment there in the chat, but I wanted to reiterate it in case somebody missed it. It's fine that you went to your grandparents and your minister to ask about your Christianity and your faith and whatnot, but talk to people that don't believe in the same thing you believe, in the same mindset that you went in asking about what you believe to your grandparents and ministers. Then you will see where the atheists or the Buddhists or the Hindus or whatever you want, see where they're coming from, and see that just because you believe in something doesn't mean that is the ultimate truth. Because I don't believe in God, but I do believe in the teachings of the Buddha. But that's me. But I have looked into the different religions. If you watch the first part of the show, the actual show, I do explain that.
The actual interview, yeah. And
I actually explained where I went through on that. I went in with the same mindset on every single religion before I came to Buddhism.
Yep. I tried to find a spiritual path myself,
Yeah.
and eventually I realized that they were all nonsensical, and I just got myself out of them completely.
Yeah.
Although there are tenets like you found out, Jay, that I really appreciate in Buddhism for sure.
Yeah, and that's where I tended to go to.
Autobot, Starscream, Beetlejuice. No, I'm not gonna do it.
You just did Beetlejuice. He's not going to pop up, dude. It's a fictional character.
I did Beetle. I just did Beetle.
Oh, juice.
I'm not like you. I'm not going to get got by some entity in a mirror. It was nice knowing you.
There are no
I'm gonna miss you.
Now, Zach says he regularly speaks to atheists, but do you speak to them in the same mindset? That's the key.
Yeah.
You gotta speak to them in the same mindset that you are with your faith. If you're not speaking to them, someone of opposite faith of yours or lack of faith, in the same mindset you do with somebody of your same faith, then you're not listening to what they have to say.
Mm-hmm.
You regulate Zachary. If you're on Twitter, I don't know if you're on Twitter or not, but hit me up on Twitter. I could have a conversation with you. You seem like a level-headed guy as opposed to some of these other idiots that popped in here speaking up for Darth Dipshit. Darth Dipshit, as I call him.
I was looking at the comments. Jen wants to continue my sex education with AdamandEve.com.
That's awesome. Zachary, I could talk to you. You seem more level-headed than some of these other clowns I've come across.
Autobot Starscream, yes. What Buddha teaches doesn't, for me, has nothing to do with the supernatural carrot and stick, so to speak. You know, I can.
I've been.
I get behind what Buddha teaches, but I don't believe in the heaven, the hell, the demons, reincarnation, stuff like that. But how to live your life and be a better person for yourself and the community, that's the things that I believe. And I actually
Pikachu, die quieter over there, way.
I actually, like I said, I have the Buddhist Bible. I actually do look and read the different things into it, and I take different aspects of my life from that, but I don't believe in any of the supernatural aspects that will go along with that religion. Like I said, Christianity does have some good things into it too, but for the most part, I can't get behind Christianity itself.
Hey Jay, we actually today I did 4 episodes of Atheist Vanguard, and we actually did 2 interviews with 2 different Buddhists. One of them was identified as a atheist Buddhist, and the other one, and this is a first for me, he identified as a Methodist Buddhist. So he was a Methodist that actually incorporated tenets of the Buddha. It was really interesting to talk to him.
Yeah, like I said, it's called secular Buddhism. Is what I follow. It's following the teachings of Buddha without the supernatural implications involved with it.
Yeah,
I think
for sure.
I think there's something that I always keep saying that has to come about.
And then Wonder Lady shows up and says this: "I want chips."
Is that
I love Faye. She's awesome.
Is that there was something I seen in the I don't know if you know the guy Hassan Piker. But there was something I seen in one of his Twitch streams where he reviewed this YouTube video where they had this ex-teacher who was an activist for civil rights back in the 60s and has been an activist for years, and she worked with the social experiment for decades, trying to get people to realize what it's like to see what racism's like. And the thing was that this experiment goes basically, she would take people who had blue eyes and people who had brown eyes, and she would separate them, and she would basically get the brown-eyed people to discriminate against the blue-eyed people and so forth. And what happened was the people who were white and the people who were non-minority, whatever, they would say, well, look, I'm not racist, I'm not this, I'm not that, blah, 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 blah. And they would just walk right out and not understand what was going on. And the people who were minority groups were trying to sit back and to explain, look, this is what I face every single day. And the thing is that the thing that you take away from this is that it just shows the idea that some people can't see what it's like on the other side. And there's some Christians who are fundamentalist Christians who it's nearly impossible for them to see what it's like for an atheist to be an atheist. Nope. They almost can't understand what it's like to be an atheist. And they don't understand the discriminatory stuff that goes on. They don't understand any of those things. And it's just that way, you know?
I think I've seen that video you're talking about. That does sound awful familiar.
Yeah.
Guys, I got to bring this to an end because it's now after 9. I know.
Oh, man. No.
Now after 9. I'm supposed to be elsewhere.
10 to 5 in the afternoon here.
Shut up, Aussie boy.
No, it's like 11 o'clock.
Well, I work third shift, so it's only noon for me, even though it's midnight. So,
Neil, why are you ending it? Are you chicken?
Must be. You can put in all the little emoji chickens you want now. No, I promised people that I would be elsewhere. So, yeah, because and he's a great kid and he's a musician like me, and now with my band possibly not being able to jam anymore due to work schedules, I may be on the lookout for some new people to jam with and come up with some new music. So Luminous may be no more.
If I wasn't on the other side of the continent.
Yeah, I totally jam with you. Fuck yeah, you know that. But anyways, yeah, so I'm going to go chat with my buddy's nephew because he's a musician and he's a fucking phenomenal musician. So.
Doorknob has said you have to go choke your chicken.
Exactly. Of course, Doorknob had said that. Yeah, Jen's like, because Neil has IRL friends. I do. And even in real life, I consider all of you friends. So when I'm in your area, we would definitely hang out. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, you can chat me a beer next time you're down my way.
Well, that might come sooner than you think, Terry. So.
Oh.
Yeah, might come sooner than you think. I'm talking with my mom about it right now, actually. Anyways, I just want to thank all you guys for being a part of the panel tonight. I'm going to mark everyone's name down, and I'll do a little thank you like I always do at the end. And Jay, thanks, man. I know we did a little bit of a shorter episode. It was only about 48 minutes long rather than the whole hour.
Yeah, well, like I said, I don't have a deconversion story, so.
But you had a dabbling in different belief systems, which I think is just as intriguing and could be just as helpful to some people. So that's why I wanted.
You made a fan tonight.
Thank you, dude.
There you go. See, look at me. I'm Chuck Worley making love connection.
Jay, I didn't really have a deconversion story as such, but I still had some sort of a story.
Yeah, and he came on. Yeah. Terry came on too as well. Which was another fun conversation. That was really good. Anyways, I want to thank you guys again for joining me today. You guys are always a pleasure to have in here and a lot of fun. And Derek, you got to jump into more of these, man. I guess it's probably partially my fault. I should let you know when these things are going down. And maybe next time I can have you and Jen, so we can have 2 ACA people in there.
Jen is, and I can say this without getting slapped. Jen is my bitch, and I'm.
I have a feeling you're gonna get slapped eventually, anyways. For that
one, Jen is like, she's like my big sister that I never had. She's somebody that I can laugh with, cry with, get angry with. She's just a really special person, an amazing, unique person, and I'm very fortunate to have her in my life.
Yeah.
I wish you could have came in here.
I was an Insta fan when I met Jen, for sure. When I saw her, because I saw her doing her stuff before we even ever actually talked. So, but I guess some people. You should go.
She will kill me because I'm saying this though. She is Marissa Tomei from Vinny, my cousin Vinny.
I'll queef on Derek.
I don't know what that is. What is that?
Zachary. You don't have Twitter. Okay. I'm also on Facebook if you have a Facebook page. You can look me up. It's Neil Bernstein, and it's BERNSTEIN. I have the same logo as I do for all my stuff, the 604 Atheist. You can find me there. Send me a friend request or whatever. I'll accept it, and we'll talk via messaging, and maybe you and I can do a special episode, and we can talk about you guys. Actually, I'm going to mention this now. I was thinking of starting up a different show that I might be doing too. It's along the lines of street epistemology, but I'm not going to be trying to convince people of anything in particular, but I want to talk to people about what convinced them to bring them to this belief system that they're in. Because I think to me is really interesting. So
that would be amazing. And I'd love to be a part of that.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll come up soon, but I've got so much shit that's coming up. I'll be having that call-in show with Randolph. I'll be doing a thing with Godless Mom. I mean, there's lots of stuff that's coming up. So, and Jen and I were even talking about doing something together at some point. It's like I'm not going to have a social life at some point. So I may have to scale back these chats and only do a couple of nights a week and incorporate the other stuff in on other nights.
Yeah, and Neil, if I ever
this is your life. This is your life, Neil.
Neil, if I ever get down to that area, we are going to be doing shit together. That's just plain and simple.
Yeah, absolutely. I could easily come to your place and we could set up a computer and do some live streaming or whatever. We could do all sorts of shit.
Well,
I would absolutely love it.
I want to go to Vancouver. I really do.
Oh, well, shit, I can get you up here. No problem. Man.
And Neil, are those shows going to have after parties too?
That's a decision that I will, I guess, make at some point. I like these after parties because it gives my fan base a chance to talk to people that, they may not otherwise have a chance to. Like Jay, not everyone knew Jay. Not everyone knows Derek. Not everyone knows Aaron Raw. Not everyone knows Eric Murphy. And it gives a chance for people to get in and ask a few questions about, how they ended up where they are doing, whatever the case may be. So, yeah. And I always thought it would be really interesting to talk to people about how they ended up being convinced enough to start into a belief system. Anyway, so there you go. Some ideas that are boiling around or stirring around in the mind of this crazy Canuck Neil Bernstein. There you go. Neil the TikTok right there. All right. So we're going to bring this to a close. And I want to thank everyone that's been hanging out in the chat, even you trolls for Darth Dawkins, because you made my algorithms jump up a little bit. And until next time, guys, like I always say at the end of my streams, no matter what they are, like the late, great Christopher Hitchens once said, it's called faith because it's not knowledge. And we will see you guys next time.
Mm-hmm.